find out if I can hear that noise in the background. Cause you know I got construction corporation next door building a fucking 4-story hotel. Cause all kind of problem bullshit. So I might have to take my volume off. That's why I can't do shit. Banging wind, bro. I'm banging wind, you know. I know y'all hear that beeping shit. And how am I supposed to make money doing anything with my voice that I need for my voice, that needs my voice? How am I supposed to do work or anything? And I'm constantly hearing fucking construction shit literally in the background. Like, shit's so fucking annoying, bro. So fucking annoying. Anyways, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm about to fucking get everything set up, ready to go. I'll be ready to fly by myself today. I've been kind of used to having some people with me. But today we fly solo. Beautiful morning here in Louisiana. Back home for a day or two, and then off to Mississippi. Shall be back. As we all know, it's my way of life. It's my way of life. Yeah. like I'm gonna be turning my microphone off because all the construction. But yeah, have a wonderful Friday, dude. Enjoy the fight. Still 1 or 2 people to watch my show.
the easiest way to do that is to even push us to the side, because you won't be strong enough to, but it will slide out. Miss Piper? Could you look in the cooler and grab us a couple bottles of water? It's in the back of the van. I like those having only one headline. Overall, I think the usability of the digital is really nice. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon. Basic goal was to, based on the airport for very long. Okay. So I was thinking that we'd go ahead and get up and see if we can get that eastbound winds. Okay. Get over the airport, start looking at options, out with 94. I don't want to go too far north. Kind of keep climbing. This is Hot Air Balloon November 74008.
74008, Springstyle, 1203, altimeter 30.
208, copy that. Third of 3 balloons.
We've had it for years, but Kent's balloon sure looks nice. I don't think it's got very many cars on it, that's surprising.
Channel 3. He asked what channel we were in. And so I put the microphone up. And then he said, oh, temperature 250, and it registered that.
Oh, funny.
250 is your last time.
That looks like a pretty major construction site out there. I don't know what that is.
It does, and that's where Troy landed the other day, where they built him a road.
Oh, okay. Similar one right here in Peterson. Exactly. Checking NORAD.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Just got my mic off because they're doing construction and then, yeah. So, you have a good day.
It's not every day. Yeah, I feel like we're sort of right at the boundary here. What do we got? 5 miles? What's coming up behind us?
You have the really nice orange and yellow. Great to look at. Really small.
Yeah.
Think about maybe making a new one. Two band instead of 4 and 1. Because I was thinking, oh, well, I could put 2. No, it's right in the middle. So I was like, maybe I'll put something else on it and not have me or something. It's right in the middle. It's just,
And so I have to believe they've solved the digital problem.
right.
And don't forget, 2 p.m. your time, I'm going to be going live with that group flight. I think they got it going on. I'm gonna double check. That's the plan.
When I'm done with it, I do wrap this around it, but then I've been carrying it in my briefcase.
Right. I think the box is pretty stable.
Yeah,
I think the
box
screen
is
is what I worry about.
Headache was like, I see you like that. He's like, first thing you need to do is get a screen protector. Probably right, but that's a big construction area too.
It is. This one is, that's the church and the college, the Nazarene College. And they've built up these retaining walls. Those are new because it used to just slope off.
Oh yeah.
And so they built the retaining walls, they've leveled it all, and I flew somebody from there years ago, and they had talked about the idea that they'd always wanted to build sort of apartments that they could use as dorms for their students.
Right.
That's a lot.
We were doing that like little Christmas drive-through. Is that this church here?
I don't
Hey,
know.
I don't know if you hear this, but I sent you a message and tagged you in the actual flight they're doing. We're going. Apparently, they're flying to the Netherlands today.
I feel like we've changed.
Yes.
Troy's jumping up.
He's going faster.
Faster than us, yeah.
I feel like it, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's accelerating this one. It's just so unusual to hear that runway called in the morning. It always gets my attention. With us going opposite directions, it looks like he's really moving, doesn't it? How long would you anticipate that 120 ground wind to hang around?
They're not very long.
Looks like Troy's truck's got quite a bit of like trade zone kind of stuff. Yeah, on a day like today, it's hard to predict when the ground wind will change because the cloud layer will prevent the heat, which but it started out pretty warm, so it's hard to predict. But lost Terry. Do you know where he went?
He's pretty much.
So I'm a little bit curious that we're not seeing Dave and Clayton. In this kind of a situation, I'm typically comfortable sort of creeping up. Like, something under 200 feet a minute. That's plenty slow for him to notice and get out of the way. If he's down to one button. That kind of thing, right? The other thing that you put at risk is when you're, yeah, you got so what you use just Yeah,
for it.
I think that's probably what I would do.
It's an easy fix.
Yeah, and I would think it would be rare for you to use all four.
Right.
So I think that's fine. No, it's slowed down here from what we had a few minutes ago. Just because you can adequately predict what the airplanes are doing.
Right. I think that's the way they feel about the balloons, actually. We're unpredictable, they don't know what we're doing. I got used to being the only one in the basket.
Yeah.
At any altitude, just the extra weighted.
It does cool fast. Just ahead of the turn. Glad we weren't trying to play 5 minutes later.
We'll have us at least on in case like that.
I think Terry has more speed than these guys. Is that your sense as well?
And he's caught up with them. And he was behind us to begin with, so
We're going 060.
he does seem to be going away from us faster than the other ones.
I feel like that too. Different than what I'm used to seeing down there. Is there an air show or something happening? You want me to fix it?
Left turn.
amazing what a channel will do, right?
Because yesterday, I was using my radio and I was chasing.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday, in flight, Greg was like, let's change to channel 3. Okay. Troy had a screwdriver all around. It was weird yesterday. Nobody expected it. We launched from Memorial and ended up landing in the trade zone, the south of the trade zone, and the southern half of Babs. I think it's beautiful, though. Noise chase crew was out on Powers over here, had Powers and Bradley there, and Charlie's still back here. I'm going to be out on 85, so we were out 85, and did not end up there, ended up nearly in the ground. Strange in that it's slowed down, as we approach 1,000.
Faster. Must be a shear up here somewhere. And you were climbing a little bit and noticed that you're not. Necessarily cold. I think we bumped up against
short 17 right, Alpha 2 right there. Extra 7790 Romeo, spring 1207, runway 178 Alpha 2, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, 17 right.
weird sensation. And yet we haven't turned direction much, but it's certainly a temperature boundary. I feel that. Gauge inflated. Corey and Toucan are hanging low there. Isn't it amazing how bright blue and yellow blue can be?
It does seem like at the lower altitude there.
Yeah, but I think Corey is still headed towards the northwest. situation, I would be paying very close attention to the airport to see if that 120 ground wind starts to change. Because if it does change, and let's say the ground wind goes 090, that changes your landing profile quite a bit. And unfortunately, Murphy's Law says it changes it right at the end.
Right.
Things that Colorado Springs really teaches you that doesn't happen everywhere else is that sense of the wind changing hour and a half after sunrise. So for me, I have found that it really encourages me to plan for two things. One, a couple of backup plans, but also sort of what I would call it, you know, the old adage is sort of fly in the middle of the sky. When it changes, I don't want to be screwed at the end.
I was going to say 360 landing option.
Is that you have a 360 landing just about anywhere you are, especially east of power. Just we know that some of this stuff is inaccessible, so it's, you know, that's attractive. But like from a safety standpoint, you can land on the base.
Right.
You can certainly land in that open area in the base. The base here is a PT. Pretty sensitive about that gray building and the little brown building on the south side of DX.
Over the other day.
We don't have pictures.
Yeah, pretty close. I actually came and flew past the tower over the golf course. Numbers, and you can see where the old gate is.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I just thought it was interesting. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to need you to not have any pictures of that. I was curious why you flew over that was so sensitive.
yeah, in that flight path, nothing. At least, but like I say, with those two sensitive spots, we weren't anywhere near those, but I think their sensitivity was the fact that I was so low for so long.
Sure.
That was the only wind I could find.
So it's area some north there.
Since I was so low for so long, they assumed I was doing something nefarious. That's what I found. You know, weeks or months ago that motivated me to go to Channel 4 was I was getting all that kind of static.
I see.
Now, this is an interesting flight that they've got here. Interesting in two senses. One, I probably wouldn't have made that choice, but also it is interesting. I mean, it's a fun flight. You get to go over the city. But for me, I wouldn't have made that choice just because I feel like that's a much harder direction to seek landings. Going east. Terry looks like he's falling, but it's probably just an illusion.
Right. And we're going 10 minutes.
Right.
It does look like he's coming back across Marshall fairly quickly.
Yeah, it does. And I don't see a lot of I think he's off the base enough that he'll be all right. There's something for us to pay attention to since we're smack dab in the middle of it. Yeah, Terry might have a 060. Well, no. He looks more like he's still got the 120, doesn't he? So we're turning a little lefter, which is nice.
If we're gonna come back that much, I'd kind of like to hold this for a little bit and get.
I agree. I think that sort of the
1058 Springs Tower, wind 0607, Colorado Springs altimeter 300.
keep getting north to the base. We know this field is good by Space Village. We know this whatever demo area is fine. Intention was to put one here, and then two on each side, just landing jackets. And no confusion which one to grab.
I've been confused by it now.
That happened to me in the 120 once at a windy landing. I reached up and grabbed the wrong one, and it only cost me half a second. It made my landing less delightful than I wanted. You know? I'm not sure that our speed and direction is as dependent on gods today.
Invariably, it does. The general idea of climbing up here and going this way has been there.
It'd be great if you had a shadow. Even up about. He could be looking at a landing. I was even thinking maybe in space. I think we're feeling that turbulence that they talked about. Because you're fluctuating 100 feet a minute.
Right.
And it's quickly, right? I mean, like, you could see both of us are looking at the instrument. It's like, oh, something just happened. Faster than we're cooling or warming, that's for sure. Do you know, do we have access in that open area?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, right here where the dirt road is. At one point I saw that was logged, but that's been a year ago.
Lot is locked?
Well, it was, but then just the other day, like the last couple of weeks, long time ago. But I think it was Sean Wicks, now that I think about it.
Okay. That is a long time
Yeah.
ago. So I feel like Troy has gone north because I felt like we were closer. I don't know what he did to get north though, because we've been at the same level.
Right, well, he actually climbs quite a bit. He was
Oh, did
down
he?
lower
Okay.
earlier.
So Brook looks to be moving pretty slow. I would say a little north of west, like maybe 290-ish maybe. Exactly, it's encouraging for us. I think he's descending and I can't quite tell what direction he's going. I'm hoping to see a shadow. If we were to drop down, I'll say down, so I don't know what the right timing is, but then in theory there is that layer that's going to the west, and then if we get down to the ground and go north, we could be up there in the same spot. Do that, that's pretty quick, just to make sure that we don't get out over the base.
Have that right now, starting on the tent right now.
I feel like we should too. I agree. I think you're on the right track. The only hazard down below us is these power lines.
starts
beeping.
beeping.
You can set those.
I know, you told me that, and I hadn't gone and looked at it yet, but I guess I have to go online and because the information that came in the packet was just very basic stuff.
Yeah.
How to turn it on, off, and how to set the altimeter was it.
Then with a quick start. So now you've retrieved buoys on this side of the power lines.
Yep.
But what about between the rail and power lines?
Yep.
Okay. Because I do see an entrance there.
Yep, just a little land bridge.
I'm just thinking I don't feel the rest, and maybe I'm just not patient enough. Oh, we're starting to get it. 3:30. Won't get us to that. From a fuel standpoint, if we drop down and we're sort of slow about it and we have to go all the way to the houses, the other almost an hour, right? So I think this is the point where Travis could probably use it. He'll be fine, but I think the question in his mind is waiting for this field
Well, I was going almost 10 knots. Came up on it real pretty quick. Myself, I wish I'd come down to a little bit quicker, but here we are. So 10 knots. I don't think I have enough space left to get this field.